All right. Next up, we have Victor Hugo Costa against Jareed Gaines. I know Gaines fights out
All
of Nolan
right, here we
Brothers
go.
Boxing.
Jareed Gaines versus Victor Hugo Costa, bout 4. We got Jareed Gaines from Framingham, Mass. Victor Hugo Costa from the Hot Mass. 1-5 versus 2-0. Age virtually identical, both in their early 30s. This should be a fantastic matchup.
All right, fourth bout of the night. So as we wait, I've seen Gaines fight many times. I remember him from the amateurs at his Golden Gloves days. He has such a relaxed style, and he's just super calm, super relaxed. It's almost like he's got something else on his mind and someplace else to be.
Yeah, it looks like
Not
he
in a
wants to
bad
show it
way.
off.
It's just
Yeah.
he's just so nonchalant.
And I
He
mean-
just happens to be fighting.
Yep, and I mean, that's the way to be in boxing, right? The more relaxed fighters, the happy fighters, they tend to do a lot better. And I saw Jareed Gaines' pro debut versus Max da Silva, and well, actually, his last fight versus Max da Silva. And it's exactly what he showed. A lot of poise, a lot of swagger in there. He took his time, and he got the job done. You know, Gaines, he's a Central New England Golden Gloves champion. He's been with the Nolan brothers for his whole amateur career. They're in his corner tonight. He's relaxed. He's ready to go. And I assume we're going to see more of that relaxation and that style tonight.
I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. So, what do you know about Victor? Victor
So,
Hugo Costa.
Victor Hugo Costa, he has played spoiler before. He's 1-5. He has one big knockout, also versus Chad Liancello, where he was a big underdog. He came out and he stopped Chad, and it was a beautiful performance. He actually fought my heavyweight, John Gruber. He lost a unanimous decision, but kind of like Tracy Johnson, Victor Costa is in there to win. Every time he steps in that ring, unless you can deter him otherwise, he's in there to win every round. I've seen him go the distance with my fighter, John Gruber. He's also went the distance with Sergey Shelduko, who's a 6'8" Ukrainian athlete, unbelievable. And yeah, when Victor wants to fight, he'll fight. But I've also seen Victor, quit prematurely on the stool before. So I think it's all going to depend on what version of Victor we see tonight.
As we wait for the next set of fighters to come out, just again to touch on being at Fenway Park. It is such 70 years was the last time that there was a fight here. 70 years. So we are back in action. So we're still waiting for the next set to come out.
Yeah, so like we talked about, Jareed Gaines, 2-0. 2-0, two knockouts. Former Central New England Golden Gloves champion. Very powerful, and like you said, Todd, very relaxed.
Please welcome to the ring, the undefeated Jareed.
Yeah, so like you said, Todd, not only is he powerful, he's very relaxed in there. Very relaxed, knows what he's doing, keeps it calm. Almost looks like, he wants to be somewhere else in there. Let's see if he has that same poise tonight in such a big venue.
Yeah, and this is it's a big deal too. I know for, Jareed being undefeated, he's got 2 fights, just to be, and again, hometown kid from Framingham, Massachusetts. Big shout out to Framingham.
And maybe a little additive pressure. Not only, he lives pretty close by, but, he's trained and promoted by the promoters of the show, the Nolan brothers. This is their show, kind of like his show tonight. He's a hometown kid. So he wants to go in there and put on a show.
Yeah, you can see he's bobbing his head.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent now making his way to the ring. Please welcome Victor Hugo Costa.
And here we go. Victor Hugo Costa. So Victor Costa, he is no stranger to big stages. He actually holds a huge knockout victory versus Chad the Lion Liancello over at Mohegan Sun. A fight where he was, slated as a huge underdog. And he came out on his professional debut against 6'7" Sergey Sholduko and also went the distance. I'm pretty familiar with this guy, Todd. He fought my fighter, USBF heavyweight champion John Gruber. We fought him last November, and we ended up securing the unanimous decision victory. But I'll tell you what, Victor was there for all 4 rounds. He's a very tough man, very tough individual, and I can guarantee you, on a big stage like today, he's looking to play spoiler.
Now, what do you think he'll do to try to upset Harold?
Well, this is the thing.
I'm not Harold, Jareed.
Yeah, Jareed, Jareed Gaines, who, is a training partner of Harold Roy, both trained by the Nolan brothers. He is a classical boxer, Central New England Golden Gloves champion, very good fundamentals. This is what he does. Victor Costa being an MMA guy, you're going to see some off-timing tonight from him.
4 rounds in the heavyweight division. This battle is proudly sponsored by Pino Brothers Inc. and Dave Oils Landscaping. Your referee in charge of the action once again is Johnny Callis. Introducing first, boxing out of the blue corner to my left. Wearing red with white pinstripes, weighing in at 221 pounds. Undefeated as a pro. 2 wins, with both of his wins by way of knockout. He's coming to us from Framingham, Massachusetts, by way of South Jersey. Please welcome Jareed. And his opponent across the ring, boxing out of the red corner to my right, wearing red with black and white, and weighing in at 256 pounds. A veteran of 7 professional bouts. He comes to us from nearby Nahant, Massachusetts. Please welcome Victor Hugo Costa. Referee Johnny Callis with the final word.
All right, final instructions by the referee.
I'm really excited for this matchup, Todd.
Yeah, I am too. I love watching Jared. He's just so cool in there. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, the heavyweights just have that aura about them. It's something different seeing 2 big
Look,
men
he's
go at it.
leaning back on the ropes.
Yep. Ready for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, yeah, sure. I'm here. I might as well.
You see Victor Hugo Costa. He looks pretty locked in there. So like I was saying earlier, just to touch on it, Todd, Jared, being a very traditional boxer, sometimes these MMA guys per se, right, when they come in here, they have an off timing about them,
Yes.
They have an awkwardness about them that you don't necessarily see in the gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So not seeing that, that in the gym day out, day in and day out in your training, it's very hard to emulate that. So sometimes these guys, these MMA guys, they can use their awkwardness to their advantage. But one thing I'm noticing with Jared right now, he's coming right at it. Very hot out the gate, throwing some big shots.
Yeah, he's throwing some
He wants
very
that
big
knockout.
shots.
I think he's trying. I think he knows Victor Costa is a tough guy, and he can be deterred. I think Jared's trying to deter him early, which is a very smart game plan.
I think now it's starting to turn back to what Jared wants. I think he was getting hot and heavy because Victor started to get hot and heavy, and Jared wanted to go, nope, this is my ring, this is my time. Nice jab to the belly. And Victor returns fire with a cross to the belly and a 3 upstairs. Now Victor's making the mistake of bringing that lead hand back low after the jab. So Jared's doing a good job if he could set something up by jabbing to that belly and then eventually returning fire upstairs as he lulls Victor into sort of a false sense of security.
Yeah, exactly.
Big right hook. Ooh.
Oh, Jared going for a big overhand right there. Just missed it off the center line. You see Victor Costa comes. You see Victor Costa though comes right back with a right hand. Big body shot by Gaines. Victor nods his head no.
Jared is very fast.
When Costa went in there with my fighter John Gruber, I mean, John was going to the head and body, you know, working, changing levels, landing some big body shots. And I noticed, you know, Costa took them all very well. Sometimes when you get these guys with a little bit more in the midsection, they tend to take those body shots a little bit better. I remember when John fought R.J. Hayes, you know, we went to the body off, you know, over and over, and then one good right hand to the head. You know, like I said, that body can be a little bit of a shock absorber, but that equilibrium, you can't strengthen that up.
Yeah.
But Gaines doing a good job. He's level changing, head and body.
James working that nice 3-2. So that's a left hook followed by a straight right hand. And I like where he's changing the levels of that right hand. That's one of my favorite combinations. Nice jab to the belly. Loving this jab to the belly.
And we know Jared was getting some great sparring over at Nolan Brothers with his training partner.
Right.
We just saw catch a nice victory. Harold Roy.
Vic, that was a big shot. Victor shakes his head no, as if to say that was nothing. Let's go. And again, Jared with a nice left hook. Right hand
upstairs for Gaines. Victor starting to look a little flustered in there. Good first round. Really good first round. Good first round for Gaines.
And you can see on the instant replay.
Just like you said, Todd, you know, kind of set up that little jab to the belly. Right hand upstairs. And I think, you know, Gaines, you know, realized early, you know, he was doing the nice jab to the stomach. Went for that overhand right, came up a little short, switched it up and put a straight right hand on it, and then ended up having some good success.
Now you got two different body positions in the corners. You got Victor sort of, you know, sitting upright. Jared sort of has more of that lean, where he's leaning back.
Yep.
Do you have a preference for you corner fighters, how you like them to be?
I think it's a matter of personality, you know, knowing your fighter. Like we said, Jared is a very relaxed fighter in there in his fighting style. And obviously he's relaxed in the corner as well. So I think him slouching a little bit, hands on the ropes, I don't think it's necessarily a sign that he's tired. I think it's just him kind of vibing out in there, kind of being relaxed in there. And I think Mark Nolan knows that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I would definitely give that round to Jared. And then here we go at the start of round 2.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Victor, you know, fought valiantly. He came back with some shots when he could, but the better punches and, you know, more methodical punches were landed by Gaines.
Nice feint. Big right hand.
Nice little overhand there by Gaines.
Victor returns that overhand. Victor with a nice 3-2.
Victor has very good uppercuts. I noticed in his fight versus Chad, you know, that's what he, you know, used to score the knockout. Good uppercuts, came around the guard well with him.
Jared not falling for one of those feints.
Nope.
Good high guard from Garrett. Beautiful quick jab out of that high horns position. Jared just poised, waiting. Nice little chess match moment there. Both fighters sort of moving their head.
Yeah, doing what he needs to do. Kind of looking through that little TV screen. Like you said, high horns. Picking off a shot. Oh, big right hand by Jared Gaines. Victor Costa eats it well. Shakes his head no.
He could take a punch, but
like
now Jared's starting to land more of those.
When he wants it, when he wants to fight, he stays in there. Victor Costa has come to fight tonight. Jared Gaines is going to have to put this man out. I mean, that right hand doesn't get any cleaner.
That's, yeah.
Another big straight right hand. Knocks out the mouthpiece of Costa. Referee Johnny Callis going to take care of that in the corner. And he says, stick that back in, son. Let's go. No need to wash it. Let's go. Gaines smelling a little blood in the water. Gaines has to be careful here, though, like with Harold Roy, not to punch himself out.
Right. That jab is so fast.
Very, very good hand speed. Both Harold Roy and Jared Gaines are super athletic heavyweights. The Nolan brothers got, really fortunate and have done a great job with the two, utilizing their athleticism to the best of their abilities. Like you pointed out earlier, Todd, that 3-2 has just been landing all night for Gaines. Another big right hand for Gaines.
Now this is where, with the hands low, but then he brings them up right when he needs to. Again, it goes into that, he's just relaxed. And he's relaxed, and he's super explosive. Now, this is the most explosive I've seen Jared.
Yeah, his first two opponents, he got him out of there relatively early. He's got somebody in front of him that's giving him a little bit, a little bit of kickback.
Yeah.
So we're going to see more skills from Gaines tonight, a little bit more, tools out of the tool bag.
Nice slip.
Another good right hand. Feinted that little left hook. Sent the right hand down the pipe. Good combination against the ropes for Gaines. Defensively responsible, covered up well. Nice round, another good round.
Another good round. And again, Victor is definitely here to cause problems.
Yeah, like I said, sometimes you see with some of these guys, that come in, as the underdogs. Some of them, they're kind of looking for that way out. Others, they're here to fight. And Victor Costa is 100% here to fight tonight.
Yeah. And it's a testament to what Matt and Mark have done, where none of the fights are ever easy. You never see a blowout fight. None of them are easy.
Yeah, they know that Victor Costa is a tough cookie. They know that he's here to fight. And they know that, he was going to give Jared a little bit of a test tonight.
Yeah.
And he is, Even though Jared's, passing that test so far, rising to the occasion, he's getting tested.
He's definitely getting
He's
tested.
getting tested,
Definitely getting tested. All right, here we go for round number 3. Again, they step to each other. Now the movement starts. The only thing I don't like Victor crossing his feet as he moves to his right. Good job moving to your right. You want to do that orthodox versus orthodox, but you don't want that lead foot crossing over first. You want the right foot to move, and you don't want that the lead foot crossing over. Victor's being busy.
Victor's doing a good job of moving his feet, not staying in one spot. And I think that's helping him as well. Jared's not able to, set as much as he'd like to in there. See again, trying to get back to the
that's a
center,
really
right?
good. He's not able to just set and work.
And that takes a little bit
Big
off your
right
power.
hand.
Another big right hand from Jared Gaines. And
Big
Victor
right hand to the
Costa
belly.
eats it, man.
Now here's the
Big left hook. Costa's hurt. Costa is definitely hurt. Is he going to survive this?
yeah, he's looking to grab on. Can't
Gaines,
grab on.
another big
Mouthpiece
left
out
hook.
again.
Knocks out the mouthpiece of Victor Costa. Johnny Callis says, keep on fighting.
Well, this,
Johnny Callis calls time. That was an interesting situation right there. The mouthpiece is out. Johnny could have easily called that fight. You need, they say it in the locker room. You need to stop. The referee, even though your mouthpiece comes out, they need to call a stop in the action. Until they call a stop in the action, you keep on fighting.
Yeah, there's no timeouts like that where you can just, hey, timeout, my mouthpiece fell out.
Victor Costa's taking some hellacious shots here now. He might be breaking down. Another big left hook.
Smart tie-up.
You're starting to see a little bit of the breakdown now, Victor Hugo Costa.
Yeah.
Gaines is just landing at will now. 3-2s down the pipe. Big body shots. Big deep breaths from Victor Costa. Oh, big loader from Gaines. Lomachenko pulled down overhand right.
And
another big right hand.
Beautiful head movement, too, by
Victor
Gaines.
Costa is out on his feet, ladies and gentlemen. Gaines has to be patient here, sit down on his shots. 1 or 2 more, and I think this fight stopped. Big right hand, and down goes Victor Costa. Beautiful right hand by Jared Gaines. Look at Victor Costa in the corner right now, Todd. This man is being broken down physically. Johnny Callis is going to let it go.
With 30 seconds left, we'll see what happens.
Gaines has
here.
to go right after it. And I think he's going to. He's a finisher. Big right hand by Gaines. Another big right hand by Gaines.
No,
Wow, what a round.
Victor's back. He's
Victor
alive.
trying to come back.
Victor
Victor
is
coming
back
back
and
with some
alive.
big shots. Big left hook by Gaines. What a round.
That was a great round.
What a round.
Victor coming back from just the brink of getting knocked out.
I mean, Fenway is not disappointing tonight, Todd.
So watching Victor in the corner, seeing what his corner is telling him. We got some deep, deep breathing going on. And Jareed, if you look at Jared's corner, Jareed just looks super relaxed.
Super relaxed. Slouching it up. Arms on the ropes. A little bit of ice on the chest. You know, he's getting some great instruction from Mark Nolan. Man, I have to say, Todd, credit to Victor Costa. This guy is tough. He is an absolute warrior.
Yeah, you got to really hand it to Victor Costa. I mean, that was just...
I mean, he's taking some hellacious punches.
It's an amazing recovery.
Amazing recovery power. I believe we're in the fourth and final round.
Yeah. Yeah, Harold.
Let's see if this goes the distance or if Gaines closes the show.
Yeah, Gaines wants to close the show. Nice jab.
Beautiful job from Gaines. And Gaines is just showing that poise and experience from the amateurs, being nice and relaxed in there, picking his shots.
My scouting report that if I were facing Gaines would be that when he's comfortable, his hands drop a lot. He'll land a nice combo, he'll drop his hands. So if I'm an opposing team, that's what I'm going to look for, or set a trap. Nice
3-2 by
3-2.
Victor Hugo Costa.
And I think Gaines is southpaw all of a sudden. Nope, back to regular.
Yeah, he switched for a brief second. Nice right hand to the body. That
Nice
did a lot of
overhand,
damage.
that's
And down goes Victor Costa again. And Johnny Callis calls the fight. TKO 4 for Jareed Gaines.
Beautiful.
Improves to
beautiful
3-0
knockout.
with 3 knockouts. Beautiful performance.
Here we have it in the replay. Watch this knockout.
It was the right hand to the body, Todd. Boom. Right there, that right hand to the body hurt him. Took all the life out of him. Right hand over the top. And sends Victor Hugo Costa right down to the canvas. Beautiful stuff by Jareed Gaines.
Fantastic finish.
And
Just
you know
a
what's
fantastic
so impressive
finish.
about that? You know, Gaines is in here in only his third fight. He's in there with a guy who wants to win.
Yeah.
Another big man who wants to win. Fought through the knockdowns, fought through the big punches, and Gaines, you know, he could have cruised. He could have cruised to the 4-round decision, but he said, no, I'm closing this show. Very impressive stuff.
Really impressive stuff.
All credit to Victor Hugo Costa. Almost going the distance. You know, his body just couldn't handle it. But, you know, everything he could do, he did in there. All credit to him and his team.
Yeah, I do have to compliment. Costa's got he's got really good recovery. That he's able to take those shots, have those moments, and then recover quickly.
It's a very good fight.
That last one, there was no coming back from that.
Very good fight. Very impressive fight by Victor Costa. His stock definitely rises from here.
Yeah.
He's going to get another opportunity on an event like this. And, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, Todd. He's gonna win again. He is going to spoil somebody's night again.
Yeah.
You know.
He's definitely going to spoil somebody's night.
I was talking to a few people before the fight. They asked me about this fight, and I said, hey, listen, if Jareed Gaines goes in there and is able to stop Victor Costa, it kind of shows the level, you know, where Jareed Gaines' career is going towards. And he did that tonight because Victor Costa is a tough order for anyone in the heavyweight division in New England.
1 minute and 3 seconds of the fourth and final round. Referee Johnny Callis stops this contest. Your winner by TKO victory and still undefeated, Jareed Gaines.
3-0, Jareed Gaines. Well done. We get those obligatory photos at the end with the ring card girls.
Yeah. Jared Gaines successful again in his third professional fight. Improves to 3-0, 3 knockouts. Gotta be happy with that performance if you're his coach.
3-0 and 3 knockouts. That's an impressive start. That really is an impressive start.
Great start to his pro career.
And this one was a challenge. This wasn't an easy walk in the park for Jared.
I mean, it doesn't really get any better than that. He got 4 rounds of experience under his belt tonight and topped it all off with a knockout.
Yeah, that's the great thing. You get your rounds in, which is so important, and you get your knockout.
Yeah, pretty much the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Super impressive stuff from Jared Gaines. Can't